The case of the fortunate accident. A few weeks ago, I was rushing to a meeting that I was late for. I stepped from the street up onto the curb, but the curb was higher than I expected, and so, instead of stepping onto it, I fell forward, breaking the fall with my hands. I skinned my knee, and both of my wrists were sprained. Our bodies are always speaking to us, and when we don't pay attention, they get our attention, often with pain. And if we are particularly attentive, which I was that day, with accidents. After the fall, I asked myself, what is my body trying to tell me? What is it I need to see that I'm not? I was preoccupied that week with worry about work, about what I should do, about how I was going to do everything, and ultimately about money. I was moving fast and mostly unconsciously in my body and unconscious of the environment, focused on where I was going, on the meeting that I was late for, not where I was at the moment. It was almost as if fear, anxiety, and worry were chasing me, and I was looking over my shoulder, trying to stay ahead of it. The energy of fear is fast. It feels like panic. You don't have time to breathe. You don't have the luxury of time to consider the options. A quick decision is required, and it's all about the end, what you are trying to avoid and to find safety from. Not surprisingly, then, the decisions you make in a state of fear retain those qualities. Avoidance frames choices in terms of what you are running from. But often, the easiest, the safest, the most convenient choice is the one that keeps you running and keeps fear at the center of what motivates your choices. It's very likely that if you are running to avoid fear, you will be hobbled by the choices you make. You will be safe in the short term, but you pay a high price in the long term. One example from my life. I pursued and got my fallback career at the expense of creative fulfillment. And as it turned out, economic stability. The safe choice turned out to be neither economically safe nor creatively satisfying. When you stop running from fear, you lose your sense of direction initially. Fear gives you one direction, away, avoidance, distance from whatever it is that terrifies you at the moment. But if fear no longer occupies the center, then how do you know what to move towards or away from? What you enjoy, what gives you energy, what awakens your senses, what makes you lose your sense of time? These, in my experience, are all clues that get me closer to myself, to what lights me up and turns me on. But unlike relief from fear, these choices are not quickly made. You need to spend time exploring the environments of your passion in order to decide how you will move with it. Passion, joy, your heart's desires move you in new directions, not the opposite of fear exactly, and how you move towards it isn't that simple. If, like me, you have been used to running from fear rather than running towards your passion, it's not easy to change directions. Imagine a huge ship filled with years of energy and investment and habit. It doesn't stop on a dime, and turning it in a new direction requires small movements. As you learn what you are moving towards, you also have to change your habits, your impulses, your way of being and thinking, so as to reorient yourself. It's like being given a new compass. You have to practice using it in real-life situations in order to get the hang of using it with enough facility so that you remember to consult it when you're lost. Developing trust, like turning around an enormous ship or learning to use a compass, takes time. You don't do it all at once. Perhaps you can fall in love in an instant, but a loving relationship takes time. A deep, abiding relationship with another or with yourself is built from small moments of embodied presence. And from these moments, a new direction, a new momentum forms. So here's what I think my body was trying to tell me, that I wasn't hearing because I was too much in a hurry and too beholden to the fears chasing me. I can continue to worry about my life and run from fears, but the only way I am going to go in a truly new direction is by developing self-trust, the kind of trust that comes from knowing what I feel here and now, and feeling into what truly matters to me. And feeling that, learning to trust that, takes time. I'm Suzanne LaGrande, and you've been listening to The Shaman's Notebook. For more insights and adventures into healing, subscribe below and visit me at SuzanneLaGrande.com.